It is a bloodbath in the markets as we return from a 2 week hiatus. Cannot wait to catch up with my guy Kev, talk about everything that is driving markets lower, including more idiocy around tariffs. Crime apparently is legal in crypto. We'll be discussing that and much more today on Money Never Sleeps.
Oh, you're on mute.
Am I muted? What's happening?
There you go.
Oh, God.
It's got to be
All
StreamYard,
right.
dude. It's got to be.
This has been a real fun. I mean, this just goes along so well with how the market is. All right. Fuck it. Hit that like button, I guess. I don't know. Subscribe to the channel, maybe. Remember, nothing Kevin or I say is financial advice. We really give no advice whatsoever. So do your own research. Yada, yada, yada. Kev, good to see ya.
Good to see you.
I'm about to throw my soundboard out the window. How are you? I need to go fill up my coffee real quick. You just talk for a second. I got my AirPods in. Let's just get it rolling. How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing amazing. It's I said as soon as you went on your trip, the markets were going to just start eating shit. Luckily for me, they did. And again, it's not just the Jweb indicator, but we've been looking at liquidity, and we actually have some more information on liquidity that kind of tells us that this is going to be a bad month, as well as maybe a bit of a QE coming fairly soon. So we'll talk about that. But this is nothing that we haven't expected. I still expect us to see a really bad crash, like a flash crash that kind of spooks markets, but that'll be kind of the capitulation. We're seeing a little bit of that now. The only thing that's really been on my mind the past day or so is Eric Trump, and how someone's got to take a keyboard away from that guy, because I don't know, dude. I saw that shit yesterday morning, and now I'm looking at this shit now, and I'm like, this most certainly was a fucking pump and dump.
I mean, I'll be there in a second. What an absolute shit show. I was gone the last 2 weeks down in Antarctica playing with penguins, and those fuckers smell real bad, but they don't smell nearly as bad as the Trumps do when it comes to the crypto markets. I mean, what an absolute cavalcade of shenanigans. I cannot, we had the dump, and then we had that, that pump yesterday. Give me 1 second here, just sipping some coffee. This show is off the fucking rails. That's good.
Drinking show.
Yeah, for real. But no, like it's just wild, man. Like, we have the GDP now data showing that we're, if not in a recession already, then soon to be in a recession. Like, that shit is definitely happening. And it'll be, recession would be the best case outcome, right? Like, we'll be lucky if it's not something worse than that. So I think that it's a bad time to be like super long. I mean, if you were playing with leverage, I have to imagine there are people who were like short yesterday and then went long today and have just gotten like double crushed. If you're still playing with leverage right now, I mean, if you're winning, good for you. Like, I'm not going to hate on anyone, but like,
probably a politician.
You're probably a Trump. But if you're getting your ass kicked right now and the market is playing with leverage, like, maybe just lick your wounds and like take a little pause. Say that Atlanta Fed is burning. Maybe. I mean, who knows? It's all burning.
Like -2.8%.
London is burning.
The funny thing, London is burning, soon to be. Hopefully that's not foreshadowing. Chris, I remember you and I talked about this while we were on our break, but I said that soon the U.S. will be announcing that we are going into a recession. Might be fairly soon. And the reason is because of liquidity. And we're kind of seeing that we're going to get that bit of a QE. I think we're going to get some type of QE at some point, whether that's the repo markets, which they reintroduced that back in February of 2020, or even before then. And that was kind of like how they kept the market going until the flash crash that we got during around the pandemic. The other one that they could do is stimulus, which Trump and Elon Musk have been talking about us getting like a 5K stimulus. I don't know if it'll be that much, but that could kind of juice the markets for a little bit longer. But we're really running out of money here. And there's a guy on Twitter. I always retweet his shit. His name's Chem Carson. He's does volatility products and everything like that, and he charts it. But he made a really great point, and I think this is kind of the reason why we're seeing this market eat shit, is because back when the pandemic happened, we saw that there was tons of, it was cheap to borrow money, right? It was extremely cheap. It was like near zero. That's why we saw tons of VCs, funding for VCs happen between, 2021 till now. And we're starting to see a lot of these bankruptcies kind of happen. It's because a lot of people were borrowing like 5-year loans or the 5-year treasury. That's coming due this month for a lot of people, right? The Fed cut to zero pretty much during the pandemic. And so a lot of people are probably selling off some of the equities to pay back some of those loans. And, then they have some cash. Maybe they put that back in the market after this month. But this is just the beginning of it because the majority of those loans were taken out in September. So the way I'm looking at it right now, we might have a bit of a rally after this. I think we are going to bottom somewhere in the end of March, middle of March, end of March, right around Apex. There is a good chance that we could rally into the summer and then have this be even worse in September because that's when the majority of those loans come due. So it's going to be really interesting to see. That's the one thing that I've been following since you've been gone, and seeing this data from the Fed kind of, lends itself to being that might be the case. Stealth QE has to be if they come out and say QE policy now. Yeah, exactly. And they have the battle with inflation. So it's got to be a really niche way that they do it. That's why repo makes the most sense. Or, if they're going to do it, it's not going to be rate cuts, in my opinion. I think they're going to probably hold rates as is, and they're going to have to introduce some type of liquidity either to the banks directly, or they do something stupid with retail and they give it to QE stimulus, because let's be honest, retail is not smart enough to make that money last. That shit will be back in the hands of market makers and, Amazons and Apples fairly soon.
Oh man, it is bleak. We have now, we got a pretty big bearish engulfing candle on pretty much everything in crypto. I mean, yesterday was your chance to get out. We are seeing ETH. Jesus, what an absolute disaster! The biggest of shit coins there is.
Who let Eric tweet?
What a dude!
Who let him, bro?
ETH is at its lowest point since January of last year. We'll see where it closes today. It'll probably close at its lowest rate since maybe December of 2023. So this is good. Yeah, it's going. Yeah, it's
most definitely maybe not today, but soon. You know what I mean? You look at this. This is shit. Guys.
Solana's probably going to like what? 70, 40? I don't fucking know. Like it's all bad. It is all very, very bad. Solana down almost 20%. I mean,
David,
I hope you had fun along the way, because we are just in butt fucked here. Man. So, listen, it's not about the money you didn't make. It's about the friendships you made along the way. Right.
Is it?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Man. We'll go with that, I suppose.
My friends are dumping on me right now, so I don't know if there's any friends left to be had. This is hilarious. The best part about this too is David Sachs, like 4 days ago, tweeted like, "Yes, before I took the position, in the Trump administration, I sold all my holdings of crypto." And they released it yesterday that like he's on, I forget what it is. I think it's like Bitwise, or he's like on the board of one of those, and they showed the holdings of them and the 5 coins that, and I think he has another company that he's a part of: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, ADA, XRP. And those are the 5 that Trump tweets out. That's why it's so fucking funny. And then you see this happen today. It's like, he must have just dumped the shit yesterday. And then you get Eric Trump tweeting out, it's like, "I'm glad we released this on a Saturday or on a Sunday when markets are closed. TradFi better catch up." Bro, why do you think the name of our show is Money Never Sleeps? You don't think these fucking people are manipulating the market and know this shit, that they could fuck with the Asian market? This is insane. 8 of 5. I haven't even looked at Cardano. I know it's up 50% yesterday. That shit coin that I sold and didn't have any exposure to. Oh my goodness, look at this. I mean, that's a bullish chart though, right? This was actually kind of bullish right here. That was 100% a bull trap or a bear trap.
I mean, listen, we really watched something called Fart Coin go to a $2.5 billion market cap, get talked about on every major financial publication, show, and we didn't think that was the top of the market.
What about Melania, bro?
Oh God, don't even that Trump coin. I mean, that was the
let's look at it.
That was the liquidity grab. What a heist. What an absolute heist that thing was. Jesus.
You know what I was really upset about?
It's overbought as well.
Dude, I know. Look at that. My mom was telling me that night, like, you should buy some. I'm like, I don't know, Mom. It's like $8 right now. It's too, it's not going to go up any higher. Next thing it's like $60. I'm like, it's okay. I didn't want any to begin with. Now I'm glad I didn't buy that piece of shit. I should have. But here's the thing: you can't count on anything this guy says because crypto fucking goes up. Next thing you know, next day they sold on you. Then he's getting rid of the half. Like he's telling the SEC, like, you're $60,000 if you quit between now and like April or some shit like that. It's like, did anything change between these two administrations? They're just not going to enforce anything. And if they do enforce something, it's not going to be to our advantage. It's going to be after something bad happens. This is just wild shit, man. I love this. I love this chaos.
It is. Well, you're either gonna come out of this stronger or you're gonna be shaken out maybe for good, and you'll buy the highs next time.
I gotta pull up S&P right now.
I mean, I'm not going anywhere because where the fuck else am I gonna go? So we're in it for the long haul here, Kev. Like, we've been here since when did we start doing this? 2022, 2023? I don't even remember anymore.
It's 2023, I think.
Who knows? We're here. And we're going to keep this thing rolling. What else? I mean, NVIDIA got its ass kicked after earnings. We've seen Tesla continue to fall. Is Elon even working at Tesla anymore? What else do you want to talk about? What else do we need to catch up on? It's been a long few weeks. Ooh, Tesla under 300. That's good. NVIDIA down 113, not ideal for that one. What else? What do you want to talk about? What's good?
Well, I'm just gonna go over this because I do think this is probably gonna happen in the next 2 weeks. I'm getting people telling me we're gonna see a massive rally. I don't know if we will or not, guys. I really don't know. Because everyone fucking sold right before OPEX in February, so now I'm looking to OPEX in March. And what I'm seeing here is the S&P just put in a bearish engulfing candle. It is south of the 50 moving average. The 200 is down here, and I don't know if it'll stop at 5,700. That being said, where we're looking, I think we're probably going to see a flash crash. That's not necessarily the nicest thing to say, but it's very possible the week of OPEX, we could just have, a 250 to 300 point down day for the S&P. That would be the capitulation at the end, kind of what I anticipate. But again, I could be wrong. Why I say that? Well, let's look to our friends over in Asia. We haven't talked about them in a while, but let's look at the Nikkei. While you were gone, the Nikkei put in a day that was down 1,000 points last night, put up like 629. That's because of stupid crypto trade. But on Friday in Tokyo, wherever, it was 1,100 points down 2.88%. The funny thing about this is it broke out of this channel. And I don't think it's done yet. I think that we are going to see the carry trade unwind fairly soon. We're already seeing some major moves in the currency markets today. If we look over the DXY, boom, shot down. The funny thing is, though, this didn't impact the yen quite yet. I mean, it is right now. Oh, actually, you know what? It finally caught up. Good. You guys are fucked. And by fucked, I mean anyone who's in that carry trade because the yen's about to get stronger. It was only hitting Europe earlier this morning. The euro was getting stronger against the dollar, and I was like, this doesn't make a lot of sense right now. Now we're seeing it hit. It's down, one whatever yen. At 1.0, it's down 0.71%, but it's going to come back down and it's going to get stronger and stronger. You had this little rally into the death cross. You're going to start seeing a lot of these death crosses in the next few days. I mean, I could probably play a few of them already, especially after tonight in the crypto markets when those close. But you had that little rally. I think it's going to break through here and we're going to see the yen get really strong. And this is just kind of perfect timing. Once again, we're going to see this pain in the markets right when we're going to see a lot of liquidity being pulled from it, and you're going to see things probably bottom and capitulate really quick. I wouldn't be surprised. That being said, though, that's when I do think that we get that stealth QE that comes into the markets. It's the only thing that makes sense. Otherwise, these markets are going to keep going lower and lower and lower, and the bounces are going to be, shittier and shittier. We can already tell that there is some perceived pain in the markets because look at the VIX. The VIX is up 19% today. Now, imagine something bad happens in Japan where it's down 10%, the Nikkei, like it was back in August 5th. Guess what? We're probably going to see what we saw here in the U.S., which that day was 227 points down on the open, and the VIX shot all the way up to 64. If that happens again, in the coming days, weeks, you're going to see a lot of pain. You're going to see a lot of people sell. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I personally will not be afraid if it gets down to that 54, 53 level in the S&P, 55, anything around there. I probably will be myself DCAing into the market, which is a wild thing for me to say to be bullish, but I genuinely do believe we are going to see some type of stealth QE come into the markets. They're not going to let this thing crash to 42, 41, 36 in the S&P, and maybe Japan's fucked. It's very possible. I don't know if they're going to let the U.S. do it. There's also an interesting theory out there that if the markets crash under Trump, it's a good chance that they could rally extremely hard by the time he's leaving office. I kind of see that because we're going to see a major liquidity injection in 2026, which would be towards the bottom of a potential market bottom. So looking across the board, the yen carry trade is still very much alive. It kind of got reinvigorated by this crypto trade, and we're seeing if it's going to play out. But also we know that, oh my gosh, the S&P is down 121. It's probably going to be a limit down morning someday soon. I'm not saying it's today, but tomorrow's the State of the Union address. This guy says some stupid shit. Asia doesn't like what he has to say.
Oh,
it's kind of a given.
I didn't realize that tomorrow's the State of the Union. That's going to be so fun. Good
luck Wednesday morning, right?
If you're leveraged, if you're playing with leveraging crypto tomorrow during State of the Union, good luck, I guess.
You know what's funny about Trump too? He says one thing. Investors, retail gets excited, but smart money just dumps right at the top of that every single time. It's happened 3 times now.
I mean,
in this term alone, it's what, the 100 days are coming up in April or some shit like that. So
I don't like to talk politics, but like the guy is just he's just a con man. Like if you haven't picked up on that yet, I don't know what else to say. All right.
Eric, for sure, I know that.
Well, the two of them, Dumb and Dumber down there, are just like they're just Donnie Jr. and Eric are just fucking morons.
Dude,
and then
Peter
Schiff. Peter Schiff, your hero. Your hero. Man of the people. Man of the people, Peter Schiff. I mean, this is just Kevin, how far have we fallen? Let's go. Pull it up.
Eric Trump admits to the fraud. There has been no agreement on a strategic reserve. His post indicates that it was planned, pump, and dump. Delivery leaked when volume was thin to maximize impact. The retail investor he buying the tokens he pumped got screwed. And then Eric Trump here last night saying, "I love the genius of announcing a strategic reserve on a Sunday." It's like, bro, you just I don't know. That's like O.J. Simpson's glove. That thing just fits him perfectly. He pretty much just admitted to the fraud. I mean, I'm not going to say much more than that, but I just thought this was just like a new low in modern history to be seeing that last night. And I was just like, all right. It's literally that one scene in the Big Short where they're like, why are they telling us, or what is it? Why are they telling us? It's like what was it?
Why are they admitting to it? Yeah, they're bragging.
They're bragging. That's what I haven't seen that movie. I should see that movie. Maybe the market will crash. But yeah, this is just so funny when Peter Schiff said that. And Peter Schiff's been right more than wrong this year. He's fucking long on gold. People have been making tons of money off Peter. So that's where we are now.
All right. Anything else you want to go over today? Or it's a bloodbath out there.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I remember we were a broken record for months talking about just like cutting expenses and accumulating cash and just waiting for opportunities. And like, we're getting there. Like, I wouldn't blame anyone for doing a little bit of buying here. I wouldn't blame you for being too scared to as well. But like that plan is starting to come to fruition. So like, I hope you've been managing your money and looking for opportunities to accumulate assets, because that is going to matter. Whole speech will be tariff the world.
Yeah, we were talking about this shit all the time. And you know what really bothered me for the longest? It was the fact that the technical analysis said the market fucking deserved a major correction. But you have to understand that this market is 2% technical analysis, 98% fraud. And there's a ton of ways that they can introduce fraud. I mean, the fact that we got the bank term funding program, that thing's at zero now. And look what's happening now that it's at zero. If they didn't fucking introduce that, this market would have crashed in 2023. It's absolutely insane. But, there's just things like that are happening. Now we look to, liquidity in terms of the, treasury market. We're probably going to see the short end of the yield. Let's pull up the treasuries, because that's actually kind of important too, because this is what we're going to see if this market is pulled back, which it fucking will at this point. Let's see. Is this one I'm looking at? Here we go. We're going to look at the 10-year. Tell me this thing is not ready to rally.
Oh boy.
This thing it's oversold, and it's at the top of this, and it's ready to fucking reverse. I mean, you're probably going to see the short end of the yields come down really low, but the longer end of the curve is going to go to probably like 5.5, 6 again. Yeah, or I guess 5.5. Actually, that's even higher than I expected. It's probably going to go to like 5.5, 6, which would be all the way up here. And how is that not going to be problematic in, say, Q3, Q4 of this year? That's why we're in a very dangerous spot where, yes, this is a really bad move in the market now, but I would not be afraid of this market come April, May. I'd be terrified of this market come August, September, because if we do get that little bit of juice and the markets decide to go run wild with this, that longer end of the curve is just going to absolutely eat shit. That's going to be, pretty much toxic. And right around the time that people have to pay back some of those loans, we're looking at treasuries and yields at a very different place than where they were 5 years ago. Right around the time when we saw the mass buying of all those, where people are now completely underwater. The banks are underwater on them. It's a perfect storm. We're looking at it in real time. We're experiencing a little bit of what's probably to come, but we got 2 weeks to OPEX, and then we're going to see what happens. Anything can literally happen in this world in the next 2 weeks. I mean, we got Ukraine and UK now. UK is pretty much doing our bidding, dealing with that shit. Trump's saying, yeah, the deal's off, but now he's like, maybe it's not off. You have so much uncertainty in this world. Good luck trading. I mean, be honest. Good luck trading using the fucking charts. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah, like I guess you can try to analyze this shit technically, but that gets flipped on its head if
look at last night.
If Trump doesn't get his McGriddle in time in the morning, he's gonna freak out. Like, so just everyone be careful.
Yeah, I mean, I just broke even right now on my VIX trade, so whatever happens from here is profit. Like, that's in one day. You know what I mean? And it's not even over yet. So this is like a wild time that we're just in the markets. This is, I mean, it's fun for me. I'm having fun. If this thing crashes, this thing crashes.
I'm fine. Like, either way, I got money to buy. I got positions that I don't want to sell. Like, I'm just gonna keep the plan is working right now. And I'm good with that. I'm just going to keep writing it out. So I think that's going to do it for today. After some technical difficulties, we managed to get through it. Appreciate you, Chris, for joining us and getting in on the conversation. It was fun, as always. We'll be back on Wednesday talking through, whatever happens at the State of the Union. And I'm going to come together with I got back from this trip and I was like, I'm not going to drink for a while. And then we got this fucking State of the Union tomorrow. I'm like, well, maybe that's going to go out the window. We'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. But we will be back on Wednesday. I'm excited to be back in the swing of things with my guy, Kev. And appreciate you all for joining us today. If you haven't yet, subscribe, drop a comment, whatever. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Stay safe out there. Don't play with leverage if you have no business doing so. And we will see you next time.
Take care, everyone.